What's good, YouTube? We back with another video. This one gonna be a little bit more educational, like deep into education. Anyway, I'm finna be reacting to this, and I'm recording like this because I don't know how to do all that advanced YouTube shit where people edit their video and how they, like, you know what I'm saying, screen on their screen while they screen recording. Somehow I don't know how to do all that. I'm just trying to get this information out as quickly as possible because so many people being led astray. Anyway, I'm reacting to this dude, Young Pharaoh. I think his YouTube account got deleted some time ago. And when I first discovered it, I was like, he low-key had me believing it, because like it was back like a year or two ago where I was in the faith of the Most High, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. But I knew it was like something to it, like, and I've been wanting to do a reaction to it ever since. Anyway, we finna get straight to it and get into the truth of what he trying to claim is a lie. And I'm gonna be skipping through to get to the main points, really the points where he's talking about the Bible, because he going to some other stuff on this same video too. And this video was uploaded by some nigga YouTube channel named Son of Ra. I don't know who it is, but that's who uploaded Young Pharaoh video. We finna get straight to it.
Even Asia 23, the Semon 23 out of the Sepharia, however you.
I don't read no Sepharia, nigga. We straight scripture. So that's what we gonna skip to.
Get all ass up. Now let's go to the Bible. Right? Is God a pedophile? Okay? Is God a pedophile? Now this is out of the King James Bible. The book of Numbers, chapter 31, verse 17 says what? Now, and this is Moses, this is what God told Moses to tell the Israelites. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that have no man by lying with him. Next verse says what? But all the women children, key word, women children, but all the women children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourself. So this is in the Torah and in the Bible that God is permitting pedophilia amongst the Hebrew Israelites, aka the Jews. So I don't want to hear that.
All right, we finna break down that first point. We finna go to the whole scripture though, because he taking it way out of context. Like they always do. They just be wanting to find anything to discredit the Bible. We finna get to it though. What do you say it was?
First chapter 31, verse 17 says what? Now,
Numbers 31 and 17. All right. We just gonna go to the whole Numbers 31. Cause that's all they do is like try to find little points and make it sound like something that it ain't. Alright. Numbers chapter 31. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites. Afterward shalt thou be gathered unto thy people. And Moses spake unto the people, saying, Arm some of yourselves unto the war, and let them go against the Midianites, and avenge the Lord of Midian. Of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send to the war. So there were delivered out of the thousands of Israel, and 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 of every tribe, them and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the priest, to the war with the holy instruments and the trumpets to blow in his hand. And they warred against the Midianites as the Lord commanded Moses, and they slew all the males, and they slew the kings of Midian beside the rest of them that were slain, namely Evi and Rechem and Zer and Hur and Reba, 5 kings of Midian. Balaam also the son of Beor they slew with the sword. And the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives and their little ones, and took the spoil of all their cattle and all their flocks and all their goods. And they burnt all their cities wherein they dwelt, and all their goodly castles with fire. And they took all the spoil and all the prey, both men and of beasts. And they brought the captives and the prey and spoil unto Moses and Eleazar the priest, and unto the congregation of the children of Israel, unto the camp at the plains of Moab, which are by Jordan near Jericho. And Moses and Eleazar the priest, and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them without the camp. And Moses was wroth with the officers of the host, and the captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, which came from the battle. And Moses said unto them, Have ye saved all the women alive? Behold, these caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against the Lord. In the matter of Peor, and there was a plague among the congregation of the Lord. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that have known man by lying with him. But all the women children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves. And that's talking about, like, it say kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that have known man by lying with him. It say that, but it don't say that because it's promoting pedophilia. It say that because once it's that light, my nigga. It say that because once a man in Galatians, once a man lay with a woman and take her virginity, that becomes his wife. Like I said in some other video, I think. If I didn't, forgive me, but I feel like I did say it already. And it's saying that keep him for you. It's not telling them kill every single male and female in the world. It's saying that because it's saying kill the little males, because you are what your father is. And we trying to produce more Israelites in the world, not Midianites that they went to war with. We want more Israelites in the world. So it's really just like us taking over their territory. That's basically all it is. It ain't no pedophilia. It ain't saying kill every little kid. Like, they could be like us taking they little children for our children. They women children for our younger male children. You know what I'm saying? So he just took that way out of context. I ain't read the whole verse because that's the point that he was trying to misinterpret. But let's get to the next point he was trying to make. Where is it?
This is in the Torah and in the Bible that God.
Nigga just stupid ass nigga just took one verse and ran with it. This nigga slow. He'll never read a whole verse to y'all. Like, he'll get a few pieces of it and make it seem like something it ain't. He'll never read out the pyramid text. Somebody calling. He'll never read out the pyramid text too, because in that Egyptian stuff, you'll see that all they Egyptian gods was brother and sister. They was raping each other to prove dominance over one another. They never read out the pyramid text. They always want to find something to discredit the Bible. Like, come on now. What's this?
All right. Let me play it one more time.
Hold up.
Down. Right? Since they wrote it all down, we have to go to the story of Exodus, where allegedly 600,000 white people were delivered out of a land that they cannot scientifically even exist on. But 600,000 Caucasoids. Let's be clear on that. A Caucasoid is not just a white person. Arabs are considered Caucasoids too. So 600,000 Caucasoids.
And then he be reading out of the wrong translation. He reading out of the New King James Version. We don't need no new version. That's another way he be tricking people into thinking it's saying something it ain't.
Delivered out of Egypt, right? We supposed to believe this by God. Now, Exodus never happened. But let me prove my point, right? Let me wash y'all up real quick. Let's go to the Bible. Exodus chapter 1 verse 11 says what? Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses. Now there's only one problem with this lie in the Bible. The temple of Ramesses is more than 15,000 years old. Over 250 geologists, architecture in Egypt is at minimum 30,000 years old. Why is
How this nigga know?
This alleged Bible story took place at maximum 6,000 years ago. Specifically, if you want to be to the point, about 3,500 years ago. Now, why is this important? How did white Caucasoids build a temple that was there before they even existed? Let's be clear.
The first point he went wrong was that he think the Israelites and the Jews was white people, so-called white people. I call them red people because that's what they is. He think they was red people. I'm gonna show y'all some verses where I'm gonna give y'all some verses because this junk on the charger and it's finna die really. If you look all throughout the Bible, all the Israelites was really so-called black people. I should have got all this put together before the video. This junk real raw. If you look, go to Solomon 1. Solomon 1 and 5. Hold up. Let me get to it. The songs of Solomon, the songs of songs, which is Solomon's. Let him kiss me with the kisses of his mouth, for thy love is better than wine. Because of thy savor of the good ointments, thy name is as ointment poured forth. Therefore, do the virgins love thee? Draw me, we will run after thee. The king hath brought me into his chambers. We will be glad and rejoice in thee. We will remember thy love more than wine. The upright love thee. I am black, but comely. O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. I am black, but beautiful. I am black, but comely. We not really black. We know they just slipped that in there, but that's just proof that they was not who he talking about they is. Who he trying to say they is.
What? You need me to ask the question again?
I'm gonna find y'all some more verses.
How did white Caucasoids build the temple of Ramesses under the conditions of slavery? If the temple of Ramesses was on the planet 30,000 years ago before white people were even a species.
Look in Job 30 and 30. My skin turns black on me and my bones burn with fever. I think in this part, it was a famine. And when so-called black people get hungry, our skin get darker. Like our complexion start to turn darker. Like we get a little bit more, it get dark purple looking, low key. Song of Solomon 1 and 6. Do not stare at me because I am swarthy, for the sun has burned me. My mother's sons were angry with me. They made me caretaker of the vineyards, but I have not taken care of my own vineyard. That's just more proof. Lamentations 4 and 8. Their appearance is blacker than soot. They are not recognized in the streets. Their skin is shriveled on their bones. It is withered. It has become like wood. Come on now. He'll never show you these verses because he don't really know the Bible. Like, the nigga just be talking.
Exactly. Huh? Before Arabs were even a species. Huh? Let's be clear on that. So that's the first. That's how you catch the lie. Now, how do you prove that they made this story up? Salute to General Pharoahs student Seti for this part of the research right here, because he threw me this alley-oop. So this part right here is from General Seti. In 1822, Jean Champollion, who was an Egyptologist, aka another white man with no degree, naming himself things.
Why are you listening to him then? What?
Allegedly discovered the word Ramesses in 1822.
He just admitted the dude that he got his information from had no degree. What? So, nigga, why is you...
The King James Bible was written in 1611. Now, why is this?
And that's another thing. Y'all always like to say the King James Bible was given to us by white people. We went in slavery in 1619. The Bible was translated from Hebrew and Greek in 1611. So how they give that to us if we went in slavery in 1619? It was translated in 1611. Y'all stupid.
How did the King James Bible end up with a word in it that didn't come out or didn't become discovered until 211 years after it was wrote? So that means these people made the story up and then they backdated the story, which is conclude.
He ain't talking about nothing right there. Because, nigga, it was translated from Hebrew and Greek. He think the Bible was just automatically written in English. Stupid ass nigga. What's this?
Because you know I like to jab. Okay? Now they say Moses. Right? Let's read the verse. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2. Remember how the Lord your God led you all the way in the wilderness these 40 years to humble and test you in order to know what was in your heart, whether or not you would keep his commands. Now this right here is the wilderness journey from Goshen, which is Ramesses, all the way to Israel via Jerusalem. Now here's the thing. I want everybody right now, when you get off this video, Google search how long it takes to get from Egypt to Jerusalem. Do you know that you can walk? Look at our screenshot, it's right here. Let me zoom in. Walk. It takes 6 hours. It takes 6 days and 5 hours to walk from Egypt to Jerusalem. So you might say, Pharaoh, why is this important? Why the fuck was white people or Moses wandering 40 years on a 6-day walk? Who the fuck wanders 40 years on a 6-day walk? Are you crazy? Let's keep it moving. Because they say, ask old Pharaoh. But I'm not done. We finna get into the verses. We're going to talk about how the Jews are a homeless people and how Israel is not the land of the Jews, according to the Bible and according to the Torah. Let's go. But first, I want to keep, twisting the knife. Let me keep twisting the knife. The book of Acts, chapter 7, verse 22 says what? And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians. Let me read that again. And Moses.
All right, here go the second point. He was talking about when the children of Israel came out of slavery in Egypt, it took them 40 years because they kept disobeying the Lord, following Egyptian customs still. What was they doing? Making false gods for themselves. That was really us. Like, I don't know why we were doing that, but we were making false gods for ourselves. Just really following heathen customs. And it was the children that got to the promised land, but the adults, it took 40 years because all the adults, I think none of the adults got to the promised land, but they kids did. They children did. And that's why it took 40 years, because nigga, the Lord wasn't finna have that keep going. He wasn't finna have that stuff steady going in the promised land. Y'all out here worshiping calves and I just bought y'all out of the land of slavery, nigga. You think he was finna let them in? No, that's why it took 40 years. And that's the Lord, he can do that. And Egypt is really like, I say, half of the state of Texas. And y'all know Texas is the biggest state, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway.
Must learn in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and was mighty in words and in deeds.
And Moses was learning all the wisdom of the Egyptians because when he was born, I think they was killing all Hebrew babies. So they sent Moses into Egypt because the Israelites was really black, right? So we look just like the Egyptians. We the same color. So Moses grew up under Pharaoh his whole life. And what happened? He basically thought he was an Egyptian his whole life. Like, he thought he was an Egyptian his whole life. And that's why it say he was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, because when he was born, they have sent to kill all Hebrew male babies. So they sent Moses to Egypt. He was supposed to be a great prophet. He led us out of Egypt. He just taking stuff out of context. He don't know the Bible for real. Nigga just talking.
So now, why is this important? If Moses is the greatest prophet in the world, then the Pharaoh must be the greatest person in the world, because he's the one who educated Moses. Let's be clear on that. So there is no more intellectual and spiritually divine.
He ain't educating on Moses, nigga. He just raised him as if he was his own. Moses, I don't think Pharaoh knew he was an Israelite. The nigga got sent to Egypt because y'all was the Egyptians was killing Hebrew male babies. Come on now.
Next. Now we want to talk about why God cursed the African Egyptians.
We already know why. Because they were some bitches.
Analyzed from ancient skeletons, maximum of age on the planet, build a 30,000-year-old slavery-based condition, but did not do it. People say aliens did it. They say they was in slavery, did it. They got every.
What'd he say?
Say, Pharaoh, why is this important? How did a people who are only 6,000 years maximum of age on the planet build a 30,000-year-old slavery-based condition, but did not do it? People say aliens did it. They say they was in slavery, did it. They got every excuse for how Egypt came to be, besides just giving us our credit for doing it on our own. And so I want to come back to this verse. The reason that white people say,
nigga, y'all don't even know how that stuff was built. The Egyptians don't even know how that stuff was built. Nobody knows how it was built. Like, I feel like we built it though when we was in slavery there.
only did.
Hold up. Because he wasn't really speaking on the Bible much. He was just throwing in little points to make it sound like some bullshit.
The flood, the Tower of Babel, Abraham.
And even if you look in the Egyptian hieroglyphics, you'll see Hebrews slaving. The nigga Egyptians whooping us with whips and shit. You'll see that in their hieroglyphics. It's in there. You can look it up right now. I'm telling you. All right, here we go.
To the Bible verse. Now we want to get to the Bible verse. Because Stephen Colbert said, ask old Pharaoh. So let's ask him. Genesis chapter 46 verse 3 says what? And he said, I am God, the God of thy father. Fear not. Go down into Egypt. I will there make thee a great nation. So now, why is this important? We already had a nation. We already had a nation. We already had a nation. So this kills that they found us in Hut's bullshit. We had a nation and they did not. And they did not. So we were civilized before they were civilized. Now let's keep it moving, right? What did it say? It say, now next verse. Genesis chapter 47 verse 7 says what? And Joseph brought in Jacob his father and set him before Pharaoh, and Jacob blessed Pharaoh. Now let's go back a little bit. Genesis chapter 37 verse 1 says what? And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was stronger, in the land of Canaan. Now let's keep it pushing, right? Genesis chapter 46 verse 28 through 47.
And now he's reading out the New International Version.
Israel
Stupid.
sent Judah ahead to Joseph to lead the way before him into Goshen. Now Goshen is Egypt. Goshen, let me take you back on the map. Let me take you back on that. You see that? You see that? Goshen is Ramesses. It's the Ramesses. So God allegedly sent a bunch of homeless Caucasoids into Egypt, right? Let's keep reading the story. Joseph made ready his chariot and went up to meet his father Israel in Goshen. He presented himself to him, fell on his neck, and wept on his neck a good
25
while.
minutes.
Israel
25,
said to
25.
Joseph, I can die now, having seen for myself you are still alive. Let me skip through and let me come down here. Okay? Joseph said to his brother and to his father's household, listen to this, I will go up and tell Pharaoh and will say to him, my brothers and my father's household who are in the land of Canaan as nomads, a nomad is a homeless wanderer, have come to me. The men are shepherds, for they have been keepers of livestock. You hear that? They were shepherds, not kings, not queens, not none of that shit. When we was burying ourselves or gold, and when we was ruling our nation, these people were nomad shepherds, aka homeless animal keepers. Now let's keep it moving. The men are shepherds, for they have
It
been
was a
keepers
famine
of
in the land,
livestock,
really.
and they have brought their live flocks and their herd and all that they have. So you might say, Pharaoh, why is this so important? These people had so little bit of shit that they was able to travel with it. Could you imagine trying to travel with the whole Egypt? It's impossible. So I just want to show y'all, these people were homeless.
And it was like that because Egypt was the greatest place on the face of the earth, right? Just like America is today. So what? I'm going to just let you think. What does that tell you? Let that tell you something. Just like America is. And just like Egypt fell, America finna fall too. You can see it happening right now.
They were homeless robbers. They were nomadic invaders. That is what they did. And they invaded our ancestors' shit, stole it, claimed it as theirs, and then they're telling us that it's cursed so that we don't study it and become attracted to it because it's really ours. Now let's read the highlighted part. When Pharaoh calls you and says, what is your occupation? Huh? What is your occupation? You shall say, your servants have been keepers of livestock from our youth, even until now, both we and our ancestors, in order that you may settle in the land of Goshen, aka Ramesses, because all shepherds are aberrant to the Egyptians. So this means that black people seen Caucasoid Jews and Arabs as aberrant in our land. Now, if you don't know what aberrant means, let's go through the definition. What does aberrant mean? Diverging from normal type, departing from accepted standard. So now here's the thing. That right there lets you know that we are not the same people, because our ancestors see their ancestors as abnormal. Abnormal.
Wait till he done talking. I'm gonna cut him with a point so hard.
Fool, watch. And the white man and whoever cannot be the Egyptian. You cannot be the
Don't
Egyptian.
nobody want to be Egyptians.
Unless you telling me.
Everybody in the world fighting over the land of Israel, which originally belonged to us. Ain't nobody fighting over Egypt. That's why all these wars going on. People fighting over the land of Israel, not Egypt. Don't nobody want to be Egyptian. Just because they mimic themselves in movies looking like them, nigga. Don't nobody want to be Egyptian. Everybody want to be the chosen people of God, of Yahweh. That's what everybody fighting to be. Fighting to at least act like they is.
You saw yourself as abnormal. Come on, man, cut it out. Let's keep reading. Now let's go right here, right? Let's go right here.
Still in the New International Version.
Pharaoh said to his brothers, let's continue reading. Right here. Excuse me, it's the same thing. It just get long. So let me find myself.
That's why the niggas sound like that.
Pharaoh said to his brothers, what is your occupation? They said, Pharaoh, blah, 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 blah. We already got there. All right, here we go. They said to Pharaoh, we have come to reside as aliens in the land, for there is no pasture for your servants' flocks, because the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. So let's be clear on that. these Caucasoid Jews wandered into Egypt because they were starving to death in Canaan because they was homeless. And they even said out of their own mouth that they was aliens. Huh? Now, aliens could be seen as extraterrestrials, but also, let's pull up the definition. Wait a minute. Let me share my screen. I don't want nobody saying I'm lying or it's hate speech. We want to deal with facts and definitions only.
Nigga ain't
What
got
is
no
an alien?
facts.
Well, let me type it in. Alien definition. Let's go to it. Let's go to it. Alien, belonging to a foreign country or nation. A foreigner, especially one who is not a naturalized citizen of the country where they are living. So now, why is this important? You cannot be an Egyptian. You cannot be an African. Let's keep it pushing. I'm going to start back right here. They said to Pharaoh, we have come to reside as aliens in the land, for there is no pasture for your servants, flocks, because the famine is severe in the land of Canaan. Right? Now we ask you, let your servants settle in the land of Goshen. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Egypt is before you. Settle your father and your brothers in the best part of the land. See, our ancestors, according to this story, was so clear, we didn't just let they broke ass settle on the land. We let them settle on the best part. Let them live in the land of Goshen. And if you know that they are capable among men, put them in charge of the livestock. Now, let me crush their ass real quick. How did we enslave somebody who came and asked us for a fucking job? How did we enslave somebody who...
That's the point I was waiting on. What verse is this? That's what I was waiting on them to get to. Oh yeah, and I watched this video yesterday. This is my first time seeing this specific video yesterday. I know I said I watched his videos. I used to watch his videos, but this is my first time seeing this one was yesterday.
Chariot and went up to me. This chapter 37 verse 1 says what? And Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was stronger in the land of Canaan. Now let's keep it pushing, right? Genesis chapter 46, verse 28 through 47, right? It says what? Israel sent Judah ahead to Joseph to lead the way before him into Goshen. Now Goshen is Egypt. Goshen, what? Let me take you back on the map. Let me take you back on that. You see that?
All right, here you go. So basically, back what he was talking about, when he was saying something about saying that they didn't enslave us, nigga, that happened way after this point. The point he was trying to make, that happened after that. So basically, Joseph, he had prophesied Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. He prophesied his dream for Pharaoh, and therefore Pharaoh honored him for that. And after then, like some time after, I think it was Joseph. Yeah, it was Joseph. Forgive me if I'm wrong, and correct me if I'm wrong, for real. But Joseph, he interpreted Pharaoh's dream correctly. So Pharaoh made him governor or something like that over parts of Egypt. And it was like, and some time after that, Joseph, he had went back to his family because the Israelites, some of his brothers sold him into Egypt to be a slave. Like, they really did that. We low key some messed up people. Like, I ain't even gonna lie, but they sold him into slavery. And it's like, and sometime after that, Pharaoh honored Joseph so much that he gave him parts of Egypt. And later down the line, Joseph went to go talk to his brothers to bring them into Egypt because it was a famine in the land. They sold the nigga to Egypt already, and it was a famine in their land So they didn't ask for no job, like he just said. I don't know how he got that from. Probably reading out of this version of the Bible. It wasn't no they didn't ask him for no job. They basically like, damn, what happened? I think I just explained the whole thing, really. But it was a famine in their land, so Joseph brought them to Egypt where they could have food and stuff, because Egypt was the greatest place on the face of the earth. So like they came to Egypt, and it was like, and after Pharaoh died, it was after that Pharaoh died, the second Pharaoh king arose, and he wasn't rocking with us Israelites. So that's how we became enslaved to Egypt. And that's really the whole point of the whole thing. Like, the nigga don't know what he's talking about. That's the only verse. That's the last verse he had up there. Ain't it?
The Hebrews were originally nomads. Now
Yeah, that's the last. Nah, hold up. Let me see.
the Jews is God people, and God and the Jews already.
Nah, this is a better one right here. One where he really took it out of context.
We got more verses for these curses. Let's go. Next slide. Next slide. Now, whose land did God give to a homeless person? Whose land did God give to a homeless person? Because if the Jews is God people, and God and the Jews already admit out their mouth they was homeless when they came amongst us, whose fucking land did God promise these
You could just be
motherfuckers?
talking.
Whose land? Now let's go. The book of Joshua, chapter 18, verse 3 says what? And Joshua said unto the children of Israel, how long are ye slack to go possess the land which the Lord God
This the
of your
last point,
fathers
too.
have given you? Right? The book of John, chapter 5, verse 37 says what? King James Bible. After the Father himself, which have sent me, hath borne witness of me, ye have neither heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape. Now this is Jesus Christ allegedly talking according to John. Now I'm going to explain both them verses that I just read in a second after I read the promised land. What is the promised land? The promised land is land that the Jews say that God
That's John
promised them,
5:37.
right? So that could be Egypt, Israel, or any other part of the world that the Jews feel fucking entitled to. Now, the promised land is the land which, according to the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible, God promised and subsequently gave to Abraham and to his descendants. Now remember, the Arabs tied themselves into Abraham through Ishmael. So the Arabs also believe that God promised them promised land as well. So in modern context, the phrase promised land expresses an image and idea related both to the restored homeland of the Jewish people. Now, why is this important? What did Jesus Christ just say? What did Jesus Christ just say? Jesus, I'm going to read it again. The book of John, chapter 5, verse 37 says what? And the Father himself, which hath sent me, this is Jesus talking, hath borne witness to me. Ye have never heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape. Now, why is this important?
He basically just said, like, he basically trying to say that none of the Jews ever heard from God before, ever. He's saying that Jesus said that. But now let's read the whole verse. Let's see what it really say. After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Yahushua, who some of y'all call Jesus, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem. Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of the impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving water. For an angel went down at a certain season in the pool and troubled the water. Whatsoever then first after the troubling of the water stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. And a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years. When Yahushua saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man, when the water is troubled, to put me into the pool, but while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. Yahushua said unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And the same day was the Sabbath. The Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, It is the Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. He answered them, He that made me whole. The same said unto me, Take up thy bed and walk. Then asked they him, What man is that which said unto thee, Take up thy bed and walk? And he that was healed wist not who it was, for Yahushua had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place. Afterward, Yahushua findeth him in the temple, and said unto him, Behold, thou art made whole, sin no more, lest a worse thing come unto thee. The man departed and told the Jews that it was Yahushua which made him whole. And therefore did the Jews persecute Yahushua and sought to slay him. Remember that. And therefore the Jews that the man that was healed after the Jews that the man that was healed told, hold up, how am I supposed to say that? The Jews that heard about the man being healed, they sought to persecute Yahushua and to kill him because he had done these things on the Sabbath day. But Yahushua answered them, My Father worketh hitherto, and I work. Therefore the Jews sought more to kill him, because he not only had broken the Sabbath, but also that God was his Father, making himself equal with God. So this is a specific group of Jews that's trying to kill him. Then answered Yahushua and said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father do, for what things soever he doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise. For the Father loveth the Son, and sheweth him all things that himself doeth, and he will shew him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. For as the Father raiseth up the dead, and quickeneth them, even so the Son quickeneth whom he will. For the Father judgeth no man, but have committed all judgment unto the Son, that all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honoreth not the Son, honoreth not the Father. Remember that. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word, and believeth on him that sent me, hath everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. Verily, verily, I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of God, and they that hear shall live. For the Father hath life in himself, so hath he given to the Son to have life in himself, and have given him authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man. Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming, in the which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice, and shall come forth, they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation. I can of my own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not my own will, but the will of the Father which hath sent me. If I bear witness of myself, my witness is not true. There is another that beareth witness of me, and I know that the witness which he witnesseth of me is true. He sent unto John, and he bare witness unto the truth, but I receive not testimony from man. But these things I say, that ye might be saved. I'm really looking for the verse where he said, here you go, it's right here. And the Father himself, which hath sent me, hath borne witness of me. Ye have neither heard his voice at any time, nor seen his shape. He trying to say that nobody ever heard the voice of God. When clearly he was talking to a specific group of Jews. And that's really the whole video right there. That's in 45 minutes and 20. Well, it's gonna keep going because I'm still talking, but that's really all I wanted to get talked about for today. Like, really, you gotta study for yourself. Like, stop listening to people like this and just running with it, because they gonna lead you astray. They gonna lead you to a place you don't want to be at. Anyway, shalom to all my Akim out there. I hope y'all have a Barak blessed day, and I'm out.